Hi, my name is Roy Pastor. I'm a PBI Master Instructor, and I am very excited today to welcome two national champions and students, Michelle Jiang and Vivian Liu. And they're here and they're going to tell you a little bit about their experience learning and playing pool.
Hi, I'm Michelle Jiang. I live in Harvard, Massachusetts, and I've been playing pool since I was 12 years old.
Hi, my name is Vivian Liu. I also live in Harvard, Massachusetts, and I've been playing pool since I was 10.
When I was about 12, my father wanted to finish our basement, so he decided to put a pool table down there. And then he discovered that nearby there was a kind of a youth program for kids to start learning to play pool. And we kind of decided it'd be nice if I could go and play pool. And that's pretty much how I started.
We had always had a really small kind of pool table in our basement. And we actually heard that some of our friends, Michelle's family, had found a youth league that was really close to our house. So when I was about 10, we just decided to go in and see what it was like, and that's how it started.
When I first started to learn how to play pool, I was pretty nervous coming into our pool hall and having to play against players who were much, much better than me. But I also knew that at the beginning, the learning curve was kind of pretty steep, but I could also see myself improving very quickly at the beginning. So that was kind of like a good indicator to me that if I just practiced hard, worked hard, that I eventually would also be able to hold my own against these players I was playing against.
At home, we just kind of fooled around on the table and didn't have any fundamentals. None of that really rehearsed and down. So the first time I went to the pool league and saw all these players, I first thought it was kind of intimidating, like Michelle, and once we started playing, you start to realize that you can become friends with a lot of these kids who are also there, and they're also working at the same things that you are. So the more I went and the more I practiced at home, the more comfortable I became and the better it got. When I first started in the youth program, a lot of my practicing actually happened at the youth league because I wasn't super serious about what I was doing. It was kind of a something for fun over the weekend. But the more I went there, the more I started to love it, and the more I started to realize that if I wanted to improve, I had to put in more time and more practicing. So I started to practice more often, more times in the afternoon after school. And in order to do that, I would just set out a little bit of time to practice every day just to make sure that I was constantly practicing the skills that I was learning during the week from the pool league.
When I started playing pool at the youth league, I also didn't take it super seriously. But when I got home from the pool league, my dad would often be like, "Hey, let's play a few racks," or let's play a race to 7, and whoever loses has to do the dishes. And so that's how I got some of my practice at the beginning.
It's so important to have a coach and a structured program because you learn each fundamental part of pool step by step. And when you go home, you know exactly what to practice and you know exactly what skills you need to focus on during that time. And a coach is great because if you need any help, you can always go up to them and ask them if you need any clarifications, if you need help with your stroke. They can also help you practice if you need that as well.
Some of the things I've learned from my pool experience and playing pool is first to work hard and to believe that by working hard, you will achieve something. Secondly, I think that it's really important to be able to keep your composure, especially during tournaments or during very important situations, and to try not to feel too much of the pressure, or even if you do, try not to let that affect you.
One of the most important things that I learned from pool is actually how to respect your opponents and maintain good sportsmanship throughout the entire match or game that you're playing. And I think that's something that is super important, especially in pool, because you need to learn how to act even if you lose. And that's a skill that I've been able to use in other parts of my life as well. So maintaining good sportsmanship at all times, make sure that your opponent knows that you respect them, and they also know that they respect you. In order to accomplish goals that I set for myself, I always set my goals really high. And what's important to learn is that when you set really high goals, sometimes you might not get there right away. So in terms of pool, when I would go to tournaments, and ultimately you end up losing a lot of them, but when you set your goals high to, say, make it onto the national team or represent your country at a tournament, you know that's your goal. So you keep practicing hard, and once you get there through your hard work, it's something that's really satisfying and really nice to have.
I think my kind of strategy in setting goals was also to look high and believe that it was possible. In that way, I wouldn't really get discouraged or anything and stop practicing. So it was kind of, there's also a combination of like not going too high, so something that is attainable, but like just barely out of your reach, so that you think that maybe you can do it, but also that you know that you would have to work really hard to do it, and so then you do work hard.
It's absolutely not necessary to have expensive equipment or any fancy stuff. For the first few years that I played pool, I actually only had one cue that we had. It was already used. It was a very old cue, but the most important thing is that you practice your stroke, you practice all your fundamentals, and that's where really most of the shot comes from. It's not really from having a fancy cue or having a sponsor behind you.
My first 2 times at nationals and various tournaments before that, I didn't have a sponsorship, didn't have very expensive cues. I just tried to work hard on my fundamentals, work hard on my stroke and my skills.
That's what you need to remember when you play pool, is always practice your fundamental skills. Some advice that I would have for anyone who's looking to start playing pool, or anyone who's just started playing pool, is to always remember that you're there as part of a team, and you're part of a team with everyone else who plays pool. So whether you're at a big tournament where you're meeting a lot of new people, or you're in your little group in your town or at your house, it's always a chance to keep learning, and always a chance to learn how to work hard and practice diligently every single day, and just constantly have the curiosity to keep learning and keep growing as a pool player.
Have a little faith in yourself and have a little fun, not too much fun. Also to kind of separate practice time and fun time. So if you're playing pool with your friends, you're unlikely to have the focus to be able to really improve. But if you kind of separate those times and during practice time, really focus, really look at what you're doing, figure out what you're doing wrong and try to improve on those things, that can be really helpful. Also, listen to your coach. Your coach knows what you're doing wrong. Your coach knows what you need to improve on. Your coach knows the things that you don't know. And of course, like you by yourself, you can't know what you don't know. And so a coach is really helpful. So listen to your coach.